Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your movie apprentice, and today we have made it, boys and girls. We are in the end game. 2020 is about to end, thank the Lord. And with this, it's time to talk about the best and worst. This is going to be my best of the year list for 2020 with a few rules in place. Obviously, I did not see every movie that came out this year, even though not many films really did. There are a few films that I can't get screeners for because I'm not big enough yet, so I can't see them until 2021. And there are films that would have technically come out in 2019 for some of my American viewers, but for the UK, we didn't get to see these films until 2020. So basically, any new film that I saw in 2020 that I couldn't have possibly seen in 2019 will make this list. And as for my worst list, can't do a full video on it, but I'm going to run down through those 10 films very quickly for you. So, The Lie, Mulan, Brahms the Boy 2, Bloodshot, The Grudge, The Craft Legacy, Fantasy Island, Dolittle, Artemis Fowl, and my worst of the year, The Turning. Now, before I get into my top 10 list, if you like what I do on the channel, consider clicking that like button and subscribing to the channel. It has been amazing the support I've received this year. Best year I've ever had on YouTube. Hopefully, we can go onwards and upwards. But let's get into the best honourable mentions in this hellhole of a year. Honourable mentions include Invisible Man, The Gentleman, Mank, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7. But let's get into the top 10 because that is what you want to see. This was a film I saw at Raindance Film Festival, and it's one of those films that I don't think is going to come out majorly until next year, so I'm cheating a little bit with this one. This very much to me felt like an Irish train spotting. It had a lot of raw performances. It was very cleverly scripted. It had a great commentary on the rose-tinted goggles that young men have, and a little message on the media's effect on men and toxic masculinity. Is a very, very good watch, and it features some names such as Anya Taylor-Joy. It's worth the watch when it comes out if people get the chance. In my first of technical 2019 films, this film was brilliant. It is a film that has made me almost wet myself laughing, but has also broken my heart multiple times. The fact that Scarlett Johansson didn't get an Oscar for her performance in this, especially a certain scene of dinner where she's playing two characters in one, is a crime. Taika Waititi again proves he's one of the best comedic directors ever, and his role as Hitler is just brilliant to see, and the amount of just dark humour in this really shows that you can still be funny without having to rely on bottom of the barrel humour, as a lot of comedy films are apt to do these days. Bombshell. This is a film that I didn't expect much going into it. It came out quite early in the year, and I actually fell in love with this film. The performances in this are amazing, especially from Charlize Theron. It's based on the scandal at Fox News, and it's just really, really clever how they play with real events. Generally, I'm not all for these based on real events films. There's very few that do it correctly. I think my favourite one is probably The Big Short. But Bombshell did its job. I feel like this is a film that's fading out of memory, but I thought was very clever. The only thing I have a downside of it is the fact they invented a character to get a point across just to be played by Margot Robbie, and you could have easily just had the main two in this be the leads, but I can't fault this film. I really enjoyed this film. There was very few flaws I could think for it. So fun fact, this year I got into Dungeons & Dragons properly. I've played a couple of times in the past, but never really committed to a full campaign. This is the year that I fully committed to it. I'm even DMing a session on Sundays at the moment, and onward. For me, I saw this after I got into the game, and I am glad I did, because this is a fantasy film that is a lot of fun, and for any fantasy nerds or D&D nerds, it is a goldmine of references. It is beautiful to see. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland give an amazing pair of voice performances, but Octavia Spencer steals the show as the Manticore. There's a lot of the in-jokes are brilliant. I do have the heartfelt message about brotherhood and how all the brothers can raise their little brothers in the place of a father that is no longer there for one reason or the other. And Onward is one that a lot of people don't really like, but me, I personally loved it. But it won't be the last animated film that you see on this list. This is an animated film that I saw at Raindance Film Festival, and it was actually surprisingly amazing. This is an independent film, and naturally, it meant that the art style wasn't going to be this mind-boggling Pixar style or even like a stop motion. This was quite a low-budget film, but it's all about this North Korean guy that's telling this story about his time growing up in North Korea, how his family was put into one of these basically concentration camps, if you can call them that, for just basically not liking the leader. And for the style of this, it is very, very hard to watch at times. It is a very dark story, but it absolutely blew me away. It was by far my favourite film to watch at Raindance, and I would recommend, if anyone ever gets the chance to see this movie, watch it, because it is powerful and leaves a lot to your imagination. It's like quite a PG film, but there's a lot of stuff you can easily put together in your mind that will shock you. This was technically another 2019 film, but for us in the UK, we didn't get it until January, so for me, it counts as a 2020 movie. This film has been marketed as the best war film since Saving Private Ryan, and whilst I feel like people saying that are sleeping on Hacksaw Ridge quite a bit here, I have to agree, this is by far the best World War I film since All Quiet on the Western Front. It is a strong piece of film, especially cinematography-wise, which I am basically a big fan of, is cinematography. If I've ever got into the film industry, cinematography is what I want to do. Talking about framing, talking about colours. It's a very good visual masterpiece in terms of just getting you in the shoes of these two soldiers. It could have easily been a gimmick to be one shot, but it uses this method perfectly. There's one blip for me where they obviously cheat it, but I can forgive that because it gives me some of the best shots that I've seen all year. One particularly powerful one being a burning building, and in the bottom corner, without even making you focus on it, you just automatically draw to someone emerging out the flames. A gorgeous shot, and it contains one of the most powerful scenes of the year, where a soldier is singing Poor Wayfaring Stranger to a big group of soldiers who all look barely older than 18. It's a powerful commentary on war, and it's just a beautiful film that I want to go back and watch again and again and again. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was quite late to the show this year. It's a Netflix original based on a stage play, and this film was brilliant. Obviously, we have to say it was the last performance from Chadwick Boseman, but he delivers a career best performance in this, and the two monologues he gives in this will stick with me for many years to come. It is a beautiful film. It looks gorgeous. The acting from Chadwick and Viola Davis is brilliant. I'd be very surprised if neither of them are nominated for Best Actor or Actress in their respective categories, because this film needs to be watched. You have a Netflix account, which most of you probably do. Watch this. It is well worth it. This film I was shown very late. It's from a first-time independent director, and this is a homage to the old sci-fi classics and has a great little setting about it. This is set before any Area 51 was discovered, so the mystery for the characters is greater than what we'll see in some later films focusing on the paranormal sci-fi activities. This film has a lot of one-shot takes. There's a lot of great dialogue in this, just keeps you sucked in the whole way through. There are these amazing sequences where the camera will just hold on a performer for about 10 minutes while they do their lines and dialogue. It's just a breath of fresh air, this film. If you have Amazon Prime, do yourself a favour and go watch this. This is a film that not many people have seen this year. I've done a review of it that I'll link in the card up there. But The Vast of Night, watch it. It is a fantastic movie, and I can't wait to see what the director of this film does next. The big Oscar winner, that happened this year. Yeah, this is technically a 2019 film, but in the UK, we didn't actually get this in some of our cinemas until after it won the Oscar, surprisingly enough. I think we had a couple of showings of it just before, and it was only in the big fancy theatre where all the indie shows come into it. But once it won the Oscar, suddenly it was in all our cinemas. This was a marvel of a movie. Bong Joon-ho is fantastic and the most wholesome guy. He delivered the most relatable Oscar speech ever, which I absolutely adore. But this film, focusing on the class divide and how it is easy to get consumed by being within that class and turning a blind eye to just the painful ignorance. I don't think there's anyone necessarily evil in this, but there's just a lot of classist ignorance between certain characters, and it just plays it off really well. This is a film that needs to be seen. If you want to put that, oh, I don't like reading subtitles or watching the movie, then you're missing out on a lot of great movies, because Parasite is a prime example of how some of the best cinema you can see is based in a foreign language. Yes, Soul came out on Christmas Day on Disney Plus, and I am heartbroken that no one's got to experience it on the big screen. When the cinemas open up again, I hope they re-release it on the big screen, and I implore everyone to watch it. It is a gorgeous film about life, about how you can forget to live in pursuing your goals and your passions in life. It just has a great commentary on the human nature. Yes, is it 100% for kids? No, it's more of a mature themed film. Yes, but I still think there's enough in there for kids. There's a couple of characters that do goofy things that kids will love. There are a couple of buddy cop fun dynamics that kids can enjoy, but this will connect with adults more than any other Pixar film ever made. It's a brilliant film. Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey are brilliant as the two leads, has some great character designs, and I think I was fighting tears for the last 20 minutes of this film. It was quite an experience. I feel like I'm going to have to sue Pixar for emotional damage. Like in the last decade, we've had Coco, Inside Out, Up, Soul. Wait, no, Up was 2009. Case in point, just Pixar, can you stop destroying my soul, please? But yeah, Soul for me is by far the best animated film of the year and the best film of the year. I would love to see it get nominated for the actual Best Picture category, but somehow I doubt it will. It's not quite Beauty and the Beast level in the eyes of many cinephiles out there. But yeah, 2020, what a year, eh? Hopefully next year we can enjoy some happier times indeed. This year I have to be a bit sappy here. Thank you for all the support I've had. I started the year with like 87 subscribers. I think I'd had maybe 2,000, 3,000 views in the entirety of last year. This year, we've not only passed 100, we've passed 200 subscribers, over 10,000 views. The watch time has been insane. Like 300 hours of watch time, nearly 400 have been watched on my channel this year, which blows my mind that that's effectively like 50 days of people's lives have been spent watching my channel, which is insane to think about. Okay, it's not quite 50, but the fact that there's a cumulative amount of people that have spent the amount of days watching me just talk about movies has been beautiful to see. Hopefully next year I can keep building on that, and hopefully you are all along for the ride. But until next time, my name is Josh. I have been your movie apprentice, and for next year especially, remember, be excellent to each other. Hey, thank you for watching and thank you for making it to the end of the video. While you are here, if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to drop a like and consider hitting that subscribe button for more reviews coming all the time. And also, while you are here, there are some other videos over there that you might want to sink your teeth into. Have a good day, guys, and do enjoy.